This is the beginning of my latest 10-gallon aquascape, and this is going to be more of an experiment because I got to thinking, what would be the best type of fertilizer for aquatic plants? Well, I tried to find all-natural potting soil without any chemical additives, and being wintertime, it's just out of season, so I couldn't find it at Walmart or Tractor Supply. But someone at Tractor Supply recommended that I try a company called Natural Products. So I went there and told them that I wanted all natural potting soil with no chemical additives because I'm working on an aquascape. Now, compost is actually horse manure that's been baked. So I did some research on fertilizer sold as compost, and I found that most of the horse manure that the company gathers is going to be stall manure, and stall manure, most likely the horses have urinated on it. So after purchasing a 5-gallon bucket of compost from the company, I put just a couple scoops of it in a 5-gallon bucket and filled it with water and let it sit for a couple of days. So I'm hopeful that that has dissolved or dissipated most of the ammonia from any urine that may have been on that compost. And I've added the compost to the substrate of this tank. So I'd like to try it. It's been set up for about a week now, and I'd like to try adding some plants. I don't believe it'll be harmful to plants, but obviously I'll do repeated tests for ammonia, ammonium, nitrite, nitrate before adding any animals. So here's the beginning of the aquascape before I've added any plants. The first plants I'm adding are a couple of Anubias barteri attached to driftwood with some Java moss as well. The final Anubias doesn't have any Java moss at the moment, but it had grown attached to the smaller piece of driftwood that was mounted on slate, but that piece of driftwood has deteriorated to almost nothing. So I tied another piece of driftwood to the ornament, and that should give the plant something larger on which to anchor itself. Attached to driftwood on this side, and a larger Anubias barteri variant. That's the driftwood on this side. Now you'll notice that the light is somewhat reduced, and that is because I have added some blue plastic on top of the glass canopy to partially obscure the light from the Nicru LED. Here's a look at the top of the tank, and I'll show you the blue plastic that I added to just partially obscure the light, and the use of low light plants will do just fine in this tank. I took a sample of this water to my local pet store today and asked them to test it, and it turns out that the only thing that's registering is nitrate, but only a little bit, and that surprises me. I thought that ammonia and nitrite would also be high. But this tank's only been set up for about a week, so perhaps in a couple of weeks the compost will decompose and produce ammonia. So I want to give this plenty of opportunity to go through the nitrogen cycle and give the horse manure a chance to leach ammonia if it's going to. So I've added more Java moss to this driftwood ornament with the Anubias, and also to this ornament. I think the tank looks pretty good at this point. When the water, wisteria, and Java moss begin to fill in, it should look quite nice.